Art Lewis Show, and we welcome back to the show our elder law attorney and good friend, Carol Thomas, who is also, by the way, a member of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra Board of Directors. So we're going to do a dual show this morning, elder law and symphony, and blend them all together. Good
My
morning,
two
Carol.
favorite topics. Thank you, Art.
Carol also is getting over a cold or whatever, and her voice is a little raspy this morning. It just makes her sound better, that's all.
Well, just no singing this morning. Not that I could sing anyways.
I understand. Yeah, me either. Me either. So as I start every conversation with Carol Thomas, what's new in elder law?
You know, Art, actually nothing is new.
Well, that's good
But
news.
that's good. It's very good news. Everything is the same. We're still able to help people protect assets if they ever go into a nursing home. And you know, Art, I've been saying for years we protect assets, but usually I don't say anything more than that.
Poor saying.
We protect assets, and what that means is we are able to, in an elder law office, get Medicaid to pay the nursing home bill while protecting people's assets, their real estate, and with married couples, often the monthly income of the spouse in the nursing home. So I thought I'd better expand on exactly we protect assets, but what does that mean?
I had a conversation the other day with someone who has a parent in a facility. They're not on Medicaid, and it's an assisted living as opposed to a nursing home. But they were saying that they're not going to leave that facility because when this individual's money runs out, they will accept Medicaid. I took from that not all facilities will do that. Is that true? Not all facilities accept Medicaid?
That is true. All nursing homes in this part of the state accept Medicaid.
All nursing homes do.
Nursing
right.
homes do. Assisted livings, some accept a program called Medicaid waiver, and it's an entirely different program than the straight Medicaid program. The straight Medicaid program for nursing homes, there is no income limit. For individuals in assisted living, we can often get Medicaid waiver when they run out of money, but the monthly income of that individual has to be under $2,900 a month, or we cannot get Medicaid waiver in an assisted living facility. And most facilities do not take the Medicaid waiver of the assisted living around here.
So the trust where you save all this money for folks going into nursing homes doesn't necessarily work.
No, I always say assisted living is an entirely different ballgame.
Different thing altogether. Do you
Totally
need
different.
Different paperwork for it, or?
It's basically the same paperwork, but it's such a different world because nursing homes are running $12,000 to $15,000 a month, and most assisted livings are only $5,000 to $7,000 a month. So
Right.
There's the expense, and somebody will come and see me and say, "I'm putting mom into a nursing home. It's $5,000 a month," and I'll say, "I know that's not a nursing home. I know it's assisted living," and I can tell by the cost whether it's assisted living or nursing home.
So it does pay at the time of going into these facilities to find out what the end game may be if it gets to it.
Absolutely, 100%. And I love talking to clients even 5 years down the road. If someone's been diagnosed with something that may potentially need long-term care, let's set up a plan on whether it's going to be assisted living or nursing home.
That depends on the illness.
The illness and the amount of assets they have and whether they're married. There are a lot of different factors we have to look at.
So let's go back to nursing homes because that's where the big savings are and unfortunately the big tragedies are too. Someone goes into a nursing home without a plan. How long before you can give them a plan, and what are the conditions that you have to come with to understand before you can write that plan?
The number one issue, Art, is whether or not they do have a financial power of attorney allowing us to do this. And if they don't have a plan, the number one question is, can the person in the nursing home sign a plan at that point? Competency.
And
if they
you are
can't,
the judge?
Yes.
You don't have to have medical
No, we don't.
cooperation.
No, and Art, that's a really interesting question because people come to me and say, well, the doctor said my dad's incapacitated, has dementia. I know he can't sign a power of attorney. And I say, well, that's not necessarily true because, and I lived with
Dementia patients are in and out.
in and out all the time. So I say, if your parent has a good day, we call it a lucid moment in the legal
Right.
profession, and we can have, we can run to the nursing home and they understand what they're signing, we can still do it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of times that we can't do it. Then the only way I can help these people, if they don't have their documents, is go to the local probate court. And all probate courts are different, Art.
Yeah.
So it's not as if, oh, good, we'll go to court and we'll be all set. Some probate judges do not believe in helping people protect assets if they're in a nursing home. They feel they should have taken this care taken care of ahead of time. But I do want to just say, so your listeners know, Bay, Midland, Saginaw, we're fine. We have wonderful judges around here.
Well, it's good to know. It's
Yeah.
very good to know. And the old, there's so many questions we talk about all the time, but they're worth repeating because so many people do it. Putting names on deeds of siblings and youngsters. And every time I do this, I watch Carol's reaction and she cringes. What's the bugaboo about naming Junior as part ownership of the house?
Art, there are so many issues. Number one, if the person that added the son's name goes into a nursing home within 5 years, that is considered a gift, and there's a penalty. And we may not be able to get Medicaid because the child's name was added onto the deed. The other issue is, and people don't often think about this, so say mom adds her son onto the deed. Then a couple years before she goes in a nursing home, they buy from mom's money new windows for the house. So they've spent, $15,000 on windows, maybe a roof.
It's a gift to them.
Exactly.
'Cause they
Half
own
of
the
it is a
house,
gift because they
yeah.
only own half the house. This happens all the time and people never think about it. So I just say very simply, never, ever, ever add a child's name onto a deed. Not even as my favorite is the Ladybird deed, which is awful.
Yeah.
And
Explain what that is and why
Yes.
it's so awful.
a Ladybird deed, and actually it is named after Lady Bird Johnson. She had actually done a type of deed like this. It's where you take a deed and you add your child's name onto it that they receive it when you die. So it's kind of like doing estate planning through the deed. But I tell you, Art, for married couples, we want their home in a trust before they go in a nursing home because that can help us much, much easier save all the assets. So for a married couple, you wouldn't believe, Art, how many times I have a spouse come to me. The spouse is now in a nursing home. Oh, Carol, we have a Ladybird deed. And I just cringe, Art, because now it's going to be a long process to get Medicaid. If their home had been in a trust, I could have that person eligible within 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's somebody comes to you, they want to form a trust, but they got a Ladybird deed.
We redo it.
I was just going to say, can you undo that deed and redo it as a trust deed?
I've already done one today.
And the youngsters disappear from the list, right?
Well, they receive
If
the
they're on
home.
it.
Right, they receive the home through the trust.
But that's in the case of the death of the
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But they have no interest in it while it's in the trust.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. If you have any questions about elder law and, all of those things, give us a call, 989-752-6111, and chat with elder law attorney Carol Thomas. Also, a little later on, we're going to talk a bit about the Bay Symphony Orchestra, Saginaw Bay Symphony, and a big concert coming up this weekend celebrating their 90th. We'll be back.
The Mega Millions drawing comes on.
Tonight's winning numbers are...
You look at your ticket.
Whoa!
A little luck could go a long way.
Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $215 million.
Gotta go.
Back with you again, elder law attorney Carol Thomas in studio with me. If you have any questions about elder law trusts and all that, give us a call at 989-752-6111. So it is educational time as we learn the difference between a will and a trust. Because we often hear about wills and trusts, two different words and two different things.
The basic difference is a will only works after you die. It has no legal significance while you're still living. A trust lives with you and also is the distribution of assets after you die. So the trust is before and after. And Art, there's so many people that come to me, parents going into a nursing home, and they say, yeah, but she has a will. Why doesn't this help?
Yeah.
And I say, because it's not legally valid. So a will is great if you're younger, you have minor children, who will raise your children. But I typically say if you're over the age of 50 and if you have children, they're adults, and you have a home or you're paying on a home, you absolutely want to do a trust because that's our first step with helping with the nursing home protection.
All right, we have Al in Alma with us this morning. Al, good morning. You're on with elder law attorney Carol Thomas.
Yes, hello, everybody.
Morning.
Carol, you wrote me a trust and a deed. Excuse me. You wrote me a trust, and I have the house in the trust, but you said don't file it yet. So is that still the case?
Absolutely. Right. I never recommend filing anything at all. I just want the people to hold on to their documents. And I don't even file the deed either because we put the deed into the trust, but if the person needs long-term care, we need to actually switch the deed at that point, and I just think it's easier than having to pull a recorded deed and redo it. I like things simple, Al, so that's why I don't recommend recording anything.
Okay, so I should leave the house in
the trust? Is that what you're...
It's in the trust, and just leave the deed in the binder that I gave you.
Right, right.
And also for married couples, I don't know if you're married, Al.
Yes.
For married couples especially, I don't want to record the deed because I always tell my clients that for a married couple, if one spouse enters a nursing home, the very first thing I want to do is pull the home from the spouse in the nursing home and transfer it to the spouse at home. So it's easier if it hasn't been recorded into the trust.
Okay.
Got it?
Sounds like we're all set.
You are all set, Al. Thank you.
Good enough.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Al. Bye-bye now. 989-752-6111. It just seems so complicated, which is why you went to school for how many years?
Quite a few. 11 to be exact.
Yeah. I just, everybody likes to think in simple terms. There's nothing simple about the law, is there?
There isn't, and especially elder law, and so few lawyers in the state actually do the nursing home protection. And I think it's because people assume, well, anyone can get you on Medicaid. If someone has zero money, anyone can get Medicaid to pay for nursing home. But what we specialize...
You have zero money, you don't need to trust.
You don't need a lawyer.
You don't need a lawyer.
You can do it. But it's the protection of assets, all the different steps that we have to do that gets complicated. And how I actually learned to do the Medicaid planning was when I became an attorney 28 years ago. I actually trained under 2 lawyers from Lansing, both lawyers, for about 4 years before I would even begin to do the nursing home protection.
All right. Next up, we have Cam in Freeland. Cam, you're on with Carol Thomas. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I have a kind of an unusual situation that you might be able to advise me on. When my parents died, my brother and I inherited all their land in Louisiana in 3 different parishes down there, Ouachita, Jackson, and Caldwell. We did a trust for our estate, but my attorney told me that he could not put our land in the trust. I would have to get an attorney down there to do that. So we did. I engaged an attorney, got the land in Louisiana put in the trust, but now my brother and I have decided that we want to split it in half. He's going to take his half, I'm going to take my half. Do I need to talk to my Louisiana attorney again, or can I just leave it the way it is? Or
all the deeds are in Louisiana, right?
Yes, the land is all in Louisiana, and my brother and I currently own it jointly. But the land is in our trust currently.
Are you planning on selling? Are you planning on selling the land or just splitting it up?
I'm not planning on selling my portion. No. However, we've got like 100 acres around 3 different parishes in Louisiana.
I would recommend.
My brother's going to take his half. I'm going to take my half. But
yeah,
I would definitely think you need the Louisiana lawyer because there are going to have to be new deeds prepared separating the properties.
Okay.
And that's interesting because when I first started practicing law, they let lawyers do deeds in any state, but that did change at least 20 years ago where they want deeds done by lawyers licensed in that state. And I really think that makes sense, but I would recommend calling a Louisiana lawyer to take care of your situation.
Can you put out of state property in a trust here, though?
We do it all the time,
Okay, so-
but in order to do the out-of-state
Gotta
property,
have the deeds from.
we have to have the deed prepared by a lawyer in that state.
Got it. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, and my lawyer that I have here in Michigan said the laws in Michigan are so unusual. He'd never touch anything to do with literally anything in Louisiana because everything is so out of the ordinary there.
So different.
They even have a different bar exam because it's all the
Really?
the Napoleonic laws. Still,
Oh,
Louisiana
no
follows. So Louisiana is one state that is really different.
Wow.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Very
Good luck,
good.
Cam.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And let's go to Pinconning, and we'll talk to Dan this morning. Dan, you're on with Carol Thomas. Good morning.
Hi, Al and Carol. My situation is similar to the first caller. Carol, you did a trust for my wife and I several years ago, and but after you wrote that trust, I did nothing. I just stuck it in my safe at home here. Recently, someone asked me, "Is your trust funded?" And I said, "Well, I don't think so. My house." My house still is in our name, and our tax bill comes in my name. I don't think my house is in the trust, or brokerage accounts are in the trust. So I said I don't think so. So, Carol, I'm wondering, are my assets protected because nothing seems to be funded, nothing is into the trust.
I love this question. Your trust is funded by your home. I would guarantee you that we did a new deed transferring your home into the trust, and if you would look in the back pocket of the binder, the home is in the trust.
Oh.
This is going to confuse a lot of callers, Art, because most lawyers want you to title your money in the trust. We do not recommend that. We do not fund the trust with money because it's easier to protect if it's not in the trust. Now, right about now, when I do seminars, people look at me like, Carol, you sound crazy. We need the trust and the power of attorney to save all of your money, but we don't put any money in the trust. But hopefully you would remember that when you signed the trust, I would have asked you, do you have beneficiaries on all of your accounts? That's how we've done it for 25 years. It works perfectly. I like easy. All your accounts should have beneficiaries. I never recommend putting money into the trust, but your home, I can guarantee you, is in the trust. And yes, all of your assets are totally 100% protected. There's a process we would have to do if one of you would go in a nursing home, but we can't do that unless you have the documents that you already have. So you are all set.
Well, okay, thank you for that assurance.
Good enough, Dan.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, do I understand that if you have a trust funded by your house, but all your money sits outside in institutions and maybe you have beneficiaries on those accounts as you recommend, do I still need a will?
Yes, but it's a different type of will. It's called a pour over will, P-O-U-R, pour over will. That's a piggyback to the trust. An example
So
of
it's part of the trust process.
part of the trust.
Okay.
The purpose of the will is, let's say you die in an accident, a drunk driver hits you. You're in heaven. You can't say, where does that money go after I die, because you're already gone.
Right.
So it pours it over.
Thank you for being an optimist about me being in heaven. Molly. It's very nice. Let's talk to Joe. Joe is in Saginaw. Joe, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm so delighted to hear this conversation.
Oh, thank you.
I was a representative for an estate, a relative's estate, who died in 21. And this person was involved in one of those class action lawsuits for asbestos. So I thought all of that stuff was done, and I closed out the estate about 2024. And now all of a sudden there's another series of checks coming in, and they're all small. But at what point do I decide to reopen the estate so the kids can collect maybe a couple $100? And the other thing that struck me was this is like my third time that a family member wanted me to do something. And at one point, I had to go, there was a difference between the distributions in the trust and in the will. And a family member had died, and it was a bit of an issue where I had to have all the kids agree as to what to do. And then we signed off to the procedure we were going to follow in writing. But that was a challenge. And finally, the thing that I've run into is people don't update their trusts. And all of a sudden, you've got stuff that you own that's not in the trust.
All right, let's tackle those one at a time and then have to take a break. But
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Well, I wanted to take the last one first because you said again, things aren't in the trust. My clients, we only put the real estate in the trust. Just make sure they're beneficiaries on everything. As far as having the money, the $200 come in, it would be at this point a small estate. It's a one-page paper with the probate court. I'd recommend doing it because if there's something coming in, I think that should be able to go to the children. I'm puzzled on saying you said there's different distribution in the will and the trust. You only can have one distribution, and it's whatever is dated last is the prevailing document. You don't use a will and a trust at the same time. That's impossible.
There were some things that were not in the trust. That, like you talked about money, that doesn't go into the trust.
Right, but it should have beneficiaries.
Well, I can only tell you the rules were different.
Well, what if
Anyway,
it,
go ahead.
if it didn't have beneficiaries, it would need a will to direct where that money
It would be the
goes, right?
pour-over will that would
Pour-over
put it into the trust.
Part of the
But the
trust.
distribution would only be the trust. There'd be
Okay.
no distribution in the will.
Okay. All right, Joe. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you,
Gotta
guys.
run. Take
Yeah,
care.
thank
Bye-bye
you.
now. Got to take a break, and we'll be back. We'll take one more call, and then we're going to move over to the symphony, and all of that is ahead. After these notes, let me take a moment to talk about Krizak's House Family Restaurant. Best place to go for your authentic home-cooked foods with a European flair at reasonable prices. Now's the time to think about getting together with friends and family for lunch or dinner, as well as events coming up soon. Graduations, confirmations, weddings, showers, anniversaries. Krizak's has an economical way for you to supply the food. Now, you can order what you want in Polish and American foods and then just pick it up at the restaurant ready to go, or have your celebration right there. And don't forget, at a moment's notice, Krizak's can help. Call them at 989-894-5531. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Online, Krizaks.com, spelled KRZYSIAKS.com.
Ready to update your home and
Hi, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. In studio with me, elder law attorney Carol Thomas, who also happens to be a member of the board of directors of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, with a big concert coming up this weekend, celebrating the 90th. But we got somebody else to talk to also. He's the guy waving the baton.
Which I'm thrilled you are going to be able to talk to him, too.
With us on the phone, Fuad Fakari. Mr. Music Director, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We are fine.
Good.
This is a big concert coming up Saturday evening, isn't it?
It is, yeah. This is one of those big events that we do maybe once every decade or so. So yeah, it's a big concert.
And the reason it's big is the piece you're playing, Beethoven's Ninth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's Beethoven's Ninth, and it involves a lot of forces that we typically don't put together. So we have a larger orchestra. We have the choral society of about 65 singers, and we also have 4 soloists that are going to be singing solo parts with the choir and the orchestra. So we have over probably 130 musicians on stage.
Wow. And this, if I remember right, when Beethoven wrote this, he was deaf, wasn't he?
Completely. And when you're rehearsing the piece, you can actually, in my position, appreciate that even more and more, because the parts are, especially for the singers in the choir, are so high up there. It's quite taxing on the choir. Yeah, it's challenging.
He couldn't hear what he was writing. He was in his mind, right?
it was all in his mind. But I mean, it's just a brilliant work. It's a great piece of music and a great work of art. Especially when you get, I mean, it's 4 movements, right? And the first 3 movements, about 45 minutes of the work, is just the orchestra performing alone, leading into the 4th movement when you have the choir, the soloist, and the orchestra.
Yeah,
the Ode to Joy. Yeah.
It is an amazing piece. It is probably my favorite piece of classical music ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
it's really uplifting. It's especially when you get to the end. I mean, this idea of Ode to Joy, work starts really sort of in a not dark, but almost like you're trying to to start a new universe. It's just from nothing, and it just grows over the period of 45 minutes into this. At the end, this just triumphant ode to joy and brotherhood between all men and women, and just this sense of accomplishment as human beings is really, really very apparent in that work, and it makes one proud to be in the field that I'm in the music, and also proud to just be part of humanity.
And what leads it? What precedes it? What are you playing prior to the Ode to Joy?
So the Ode to the symphony in the Beethoven's Ninth is about 65 minutes, and before we perform that, we have one shorter overture by Beethoven, the Egmont Overture. It's about a 12-minute piece. So the audience can hear the overture, then we'll have about a 5, maybe 8-minute brief pause or a break just to set up for the Ode to Joy, and then we go directly into the Ode to Joy.
So it's going to be a continuous evening almost.
Yeah, so we're not going to have the traditional 20-minute break between the first half of the concert and the second half of the concert. It's just we perform a short introduction, then we have about a 5 to 8 minute pause, and then we come back and do the Ode to Joy.
And the concert starts at 7:30. What time does your talk take place?
6:45, and the talk will be moderated. I've been trying to have the talks moderated by Rod Bieber recently, and he will be there also moderating that talk, and it'll go from about 6:45 to about 7:05.
I'm going to look forward to this. I want to hear the talk, so I'll be there for that too.
That's great.
Great. Should be great.
Yeah. It'll be me, Rod, definitely Emily Marvosh, who will be singing. She's the alto singer, one of the soloists, and she lives in Boston, but she's originally from Saginaw, so really happy to have her here. Yeah, and one more singer as well. We're trying to figure out scheduling with who the second singer will be.
Very good. Well, we look forward to it. Fuad, thanks for taking a few minutes out to chat with us this morning. I called him
Absolutely.
for another
Always
question and said, I'm going to call you.
That's great. It's always good to talk to you, and good to hear Carol as well.
All right.
Oh, I'm so excited for Saturday night, Fuad. What a night this is going to be.
Yeah.
I know. I can't wait. Yesterday we had our first rehearsal, Wednesday, with the orchestra only, and it was just terrific. The orchestra is on fire. I really can't wait.
Fantastic. And I hope there's a big crowd for this, because this is a big concert celebrating the 90th of the symphony. So let's hope for a big crowd. All right, my friend. Yeah. We'll see you Saturday.
Thank you.
Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Take care.
Good talking to you, Art.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Fuad Fukari, the musical director, conductor of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra. We'll take a break. Back with Carol. We'll talk about tickets and all of that good stuff when we return.
Saturday night, May 20.
All right, we're back with you in studio with me for the remaining few minutes we have. Carol Thomas, elder law attorney, but also a member of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Board. We thank Fuad Fukari for spending some time with us talking about the upcoming concert this Saturday, and it is this Saturday, 7:30, pre-talk at 6:45.
Art, that's going to be an unbelievable concert. I mean, people are so lucky in Saginaw to have such a great conductor, and what a great selection of music. I mean, I wish it was tonight. I can't wait 2 more days.
I hope this is, everybody will recognize this piece, particularly the last part of it. But if you ever heard, and I'm not a singer, folks, but I'll try and give you some indication. Da 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 da. Terrible.
No, it was fine, but everybody will recognize this.
Everybody will recognize it.
And I think with classical music, It's often important. If you've heard it before, you know how wonderful it is.
Well, so many times in the classics, you've heard it, you just don't know what it is because they use so much of it in commercial work and
movies. Oh my goodness,
movies and all of that. So it never is, never quite the same. I'm looking to see if I can maybe pull up a little ode to joy here to give you an example of
you did
what
a good
it is.
job.
Indeed. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Let's see here. Ode to joy. I don't know if it's going to be the last one or not here. Symphony number 9. Maybe if I go, let's see if I do this. I'm playing, folks, live on the radio, and if I move it all the way to the end, I might be able to get just a little bit. I'm doing this blindly, so just so you know. Let's take it right from here and see what we have. Let me get it playing. Oh, it is, okay. Let's see what we have. Okay, that's it, folks. I got it. I hit it just lucky.
Yeah, you hit the perfect spot. Can you imagine that live? Unbelievable. I've taken a couple friends of mine to the symphony concerts this year. They'd never been to a classical concert, and they have been overwhelmed when something is live. I mean, it's unbelievable. It just
fills you.
Yes,
it
yes.
is. It's amazing. But this particular piece, folks.
Oh,
if you have never been to a classical concert and you're only going to do one in your life, this is the one to do.
This is it.
This, and everybody says Beethoven's Fifth, but this has the choral society and all the other stuff with it. And it's recognizable.
Yes.
So anyway, that's by the way, that for full credit, that's the London Symphony Orchestra. And it's one of those pieces when you walk out of the symphony hall, you walk out of the concert hall, you go, wow.
Yes.
Because it just surrounds you.
And then you have that beautiful tune in your mind.
And then you can't get rid of it for days. Da, 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 da.
Oh, but it's so beautiful.
It is. It is. Tickets are still available, I assume.
Yes,
right?
they are.
Yep. And the best way to get them
is call the Temple Theater. I don't know the number. You knew it once.
It used to be 989-754-SHOW. I don't know if it still is or not, but hopefully it is.
It should be easy to Google the Temple.
Or go online to SaginawBayOrchestra.com, and you'll see it there. You can buy tickets online. So it's going to be a great Saturday, and they're celebrating again the 90th anniversary. Would you believe it? 90 years of the Saginaw Symphony Orchestra, and pretty impressive.
Very much
pretty
so.
Impressive.
Wonderful, wonderful evening.
And you are bubbling because next year, and this makes me bubble up too, because I had some responsibility in the formation of the new youth orchestra. They're going to be doing a concert again next year with some guy named Rachmaninoff.
Yes. So this year, what we tried after many years we hadn't done it, we did a young people's concert on a Friday, the day before the night concert, it's going to be again February, the first Friday in February. And it was such a success this last year. We had over 700 students come to the concert, and it was so well received. And we had some soloists from different schools presenting their art. I mean, 3 minutes of playing the oboe or the cello, and it was phenomenal. So we've decided to do it again next year. It will be in February, and I'm ecstatic we're doing it again. So
another Rachmaninoff piece.
Yes.
Carol started out studying piano, and she sponsored the piano for the Rachmaninoff piano concerto, and that was another great evening.
It was wonderful. So I'll always have a soft spot for piano, and I really recognize the talent of these pianists that come in to play for these concerts. My goodness. And all the instrumentalists on stage. I mean, everyone in the Saginaw Bay Symphony Orchestra, the years of study, they're very talented.
Well, they're all professional musicians who play with big orchestras.
Exactly. I mean, we're so lucky. And I don't think before I joined the board I understood the caliber of the talent of the musicians.
Or the cost of putting on a concert.
Yes, that's true, too.
It ain't cheap. All right. Carol Thomas, you have some seminars coming up you want to talk about?
Well, yes. Actually, I just so people know if they've signed up, next Wednesday I have seminars in Saginaw, but they filled a capacity a couple weeks
They're
ago.
sold out.
Yes. So my next one in Bay City will be in September, and then the next one back in Saginaw will be November. But we already have a lot of people calling my office to hold a slot because they're disappointed when they filled a capacity. So
it's better to say filled a capacity rather than sold out because nobody's selling
we don't
anything.
sell. Yeah, when you said sold out, I said maybe I should start charging. No, I love presenting these. It's my service to the community so people can learn what they need to know. So may I give my phone number in case they want to
Go ahead.
register. 989-793-2300.
Excellent. We will see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Art.
Not Saturday for sure.
Yeah, we'll see you at the concert for sure.
Elder law attorney Carol Thomas and member of the Saginaw Bay Symphony Board of Directors. We'll take our last break and tell you what's coming up on Focus.
You never thought.
We'll do it for this edition of the Art Lowe Show. We'll be back tomorrow with lots more. In the meantime, stick around for Focus. We will learn about the Moody Foundation and some things they have coming up. All of that is ahead. It follows the news. CBS will be along to tell you all about the activities of the world and the nation. And then Michael Percha in the WSGW newsroom will bring you up to date on the region and the state. I'm Art Lewis. We'll be back with Focus right after the news.
Broadcasting from the